The secret for the success of the implementation, let's say, of XRP, it really comes down to its scalability. So you have a fully decentralized ledger that executes transactions within 3 seconds. So that's much faster than the majority of blockchains. And it's a very robust system that is based on validators. So you have 35 different validators and you need to reach consensus that works different than Bitcoin, for example, with that has a limited size block. So with Bitcoin, it can only process up to 6 transactions per second. On the XRP ledger, meanwhile, if you go see on-chain right now, it's executing over 500 transactions per second, but it can scale through federated sidechains. It can reach thousands of transactions per second. And from my perspective, that's the key for the success of XRP. It's scalability. I think that's the number one. The aha moment for XRP, I think, is the scalability.
So the crypto narratives are evolving very fast, and from the decentralization of finance, the DeFi, to NFTs, real-world assets. What's the next big trend people should be paying attention to?
Well, I'll have to answer two.
Yeah.
So one of them is 100% cross-border payments. So we live in a world where transactions need to flow free and easy, just like information, but that's not the reality. So if I'm going to send money from Europe, let's say I'm going to send money to South America, that's going to take days. The banking system is still very archaic. It's still operating as if they were in the 70s or the 80s. It's the exact same system with Nostro Vostro account. So I think one of the trends we should be looking for is cross-border payments. I would even go further. I would say micropayments, which is a source that you can stream payments, not completing all the payments at once, but you actually stream the payments until the payments fully completed. And that can speed up the process of payments. And the XRP ledger and also Hyperledger protocol, they do that in a very significant way. And the second one, and I think that's the biggest one, is tokenization of real-world assets. So I think we should be looking for everything's going to be tokenized. There will be a cryptography representation of assets on the blockchain. And I travel to many crypto events. And nowadays, everything comes down to tokenization of real-world assets. So you will see properties being tokenized on the blockchain. So you're going to just imagine you have a building, and it's also going to bring more accessibility, because right now, if you are a real estate investor, it implies that you have to go see the property. Let's say you want to buy, we were talking before, you want to buy a property in Greece. Well, likely you will have to travel there. You have perhaps to get a golden visa. It's more expensive. It's inaccessible for the world's population. Meanwhile, if you tokenize a building, let's say on the XRP ledger or on Stellar blockchain, you can fractionize this building and divide into, let's say, 1,000 tokens. And right now, you don't need to physically come to Greece to be invested. You can actually buy, let's say, 10 tokens or 100 tokens, which is a fractionized representation of this property on the blockchain. And that allows you to actually invest, let's say, everywhere. You don't need to be limited.
Physically and limited.
So I think tokenization of real-world assets is number one trend.
Will make it faster and easier.
Yeah, and I think people should be really looking on what projects are capable to tokenize real-world assets, and it goes for everything. I was in Paris for the Paris Blockchain Week. They tokenizing solar panels, they tokenizing water. Wow. So it's going to be everything on the blockchain.
So with the ups and downs of the market, how do you stay bullish on the Web3?
I guess I focus on the long term always. That's my key. Since the beginning, I always focus on the long term, because I understood that crypto is going to play a pivotal role in society, and it's going to transform many aspects. Just like I said, cross-border payments, tokenization of real-world assets, decentralized governance as well. There will be many opportunities. So I really think most people should not be focusing on the 30-minute charts, because that's crypto. We have a lot of price action upwards and also down, but I'm not really paying attention to what's happening on this month or in the next month, but I'm looking for the trends, and that's how I have been successful in crypto for my journey, let's say.
Interesting. As I mentioned in my intro, you have education part, like you work with Alpha Lions Academy, focusing on educating and onboarding people into the Web3 ecosystem. What's the biggest challenge in crypto education nowadays?
I think the biggest challenge for crypto nowadays, especially I would say the biggest obstacle for mass adoption, is that people are not capable of taking care of their own keys. So in crypto, when you leave your cryptos in one exchange, that actually doesn't belong to you. So if you have crypto in Binance, that crypto is under custody of Binance. And let's say you have XRP on Binance, they're gonna give you a tag, which, let's say, imagine Binance as being a building and you have a fraction, which is one apartment, and that's what represents your ownership, but that's actually tied to Binance. And I think the biggest challenge is to onboard people and make them responsible for taking care of their private keys, because people are very irresponsible. I would argue that I had so many people I met in crypto who lost the keys, so that's a very challenging. And I think the way that's going to be sorted out is with biometric authentications on cold wallets that are going to actually scan through your face and get rid of the seed phrases. I think that's incompatible with mass adoption.